All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Spotter Stand. Coming at you live this week from Texas Motor Speedway. Well, we've left Texas Motor Speedway, but we're going to revisit it. Racing all 3 nights, Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Friday night. All three series ran at Texas this last week. We had some great racings. Texas Motor Speedway usually is some great racing. And it's been another great week. It'll be another great addition to the Spotter Stand here. Once again, we've got BSR Pockets and BSR Hot Rod here in the booth with us. How you guys doing tonight?
Howdy, everyone. I think you're supposed to say howdy when you're in Texas, so everybody embrace your inner Texan.
Not.
Oh, come on. Come on. You can't get a
Not
little
with the week.
howdy in there?
Not with the week I had there. I'm glad to be out of Texas.
Larry's got a, Larry, he doesn't have a love-hate relationship with Texas. He's kind of hating on it a little bit right now because it was a rough week. But man, what a week! I mean, we got some stuff to talk about.
Man, it was a rough week for me as well. I came out of Texas, my home state. It's my home track. I usually do great at Texas, and I had a rough night every single night, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. I think I did better on Thursday than the other two, but yeah, I sat on the pole Wednesday night, sat on the pole Friday night, and had a terrible finish both nights. It was not a great week for me either, but I'm still gonna get a howdy in there.
Well, you sat on the pole, but did you sit on the record? Did you spend any time on the hook?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So all three of us spent a little bit of time on the hook.
I spent 3 nights straight on the hook. How you like that?
I got a little hook action there, but I got a hook on the night. I really didn't need to be on the hook, but man, I tell you, that was some fantastic racing. I mean, the thing I learned is that you can't rely on the past races to dictate what can happen because my whole crew and all of us completely missed Thursday night about how we thought that was going to go down, and it just you can't miss those. You've got to be prepared, and we just missed the strategy of how we thought that race, the strategy of how that race has run in the past, and man, it bit us. And I know y'all got bit a little bit too. I think we were all caught off guard, but man, it's still Texas, and it's still a fantastic place to race, and it is still the home of DrunkenCowJerky.com, and we love it every time we go there.
And we will be going there one more time later this season.
I like Texas. I just had a really bad week there.
So it is a love-hate relationship or a like-hate relationship at this point anyway. So yeah, it was a rough week.
Well, we had some fresh winners, brand new drivers that joined the Victory Lane Club this week. All three series. I think we had some first-time winners in all three series this week.
I do think, if I remember right, we kind of predicted that on the Spotter Stand last week.
Yeah, and it came to be. Let's go ahead and get things started. I've got a couple of picks to share with you guys this week. We're going to start out here with a pick of BSR Randy C. Randy finally got himself some of that Drunken Cow Jerky. I see he's got some original there, some beer bacon, and he's got a bag of that Reaper. Yeah, that Reaper, man. Everybody talks about how hot that stuff is. I like the Reaper. It is hot. It's got some kick to it, but man, it's got a great flavor, and I'm sure he's going to be enjoying that Reaper, that beer bacon. Everybody loves that stuff, and you can't go wrong with original. So glad to see Randy finally bringing home some Drunken Cow Jerky. I see his racing rig right there behind him. Looks like he's got a pretty good little setup. Got a pick of his beer baking car right there on his monitor. Congrats on the beef jerky there, Randy.
Look at my man Randy. Look at that sweet chair he got going. Randy got the setup, man. I'm a little bit envious. All clean.
Nice. Looks to be the same exact chair I have, I do believe.
I'll tell you, the the greatest thing about this is that one night we said, all right, is anybody in here not ever? I said, I don't think there's anybody that's in here who hasn't ever had any drunken cow jerky. And Randy said, no, wait a minute, I haven't. Well, not anymore, Randy. See, there you go, buddy. I was proud to see that. Randy told me this morning, he said, man, that Reaper is just great tasting. And I said, yeah, man, but it's hot as hell. And he said, oh, I know. I ate 5 pieces this morning and I couldn't even drink my coffee. And yes, Texan was gracious enough to say, Texan had a little bit of jerky in the bank, so to speak, and said, hey, Randy, how about I just send you? That's how these guys, that's how they operate. You know, you see one guy holding some, had some, sees another guy doesn't have any, and Texan says, here you go. And that was a prize that Texan won from our good friend Tim over at WLS Graphics. So great job, Randy. I hope you enjoy that because I know you are, brother.
I do believe my very first jerky I ever got was donated from Texan also. So yes, Texan is a very good, generous person when it comes to redonating jerky around the board.
Well, I don't know that if he's I don't know that if he's so generous or that his feet was kind of to the fire because his people hadn't won any jerky, and here he is carrying around a case of it, you know.
Well, it's glad to know that, you know, when I do decide to donate it, generally it goes to somebody, you know, like Randy, who's never had any before, and Hot Rod had never had any, and he ended up, you know, getting his first jerky. Of course, Hot Rod, I'm pretty sure, I think you've had quite a bit since then, right?
Oh yeah, oh yes, I've had quite a lot since then.
Well, he's had more than I have.
And
He's
I
won some
was,
big
That's
events.
not right.
I
He's won
was,
some big events.
I was fortunate enough this week, even though I had a terrible week on the track. I was fortunate on Wednesday night. I was one of the drawing winners, and I believe I have 2 bags of drunken cow jerky on the way. So, I decided to go ahead and keep these 2 bags and enjoy some of it. So I did come out of Texas with a little bit of fortune, even though it wasn't on the racetrack.
And I'm going to tell you another thing, too. The spotter stand, we're going to do this every week. We got a bingo cage, and we got the rug rat, and we liable to throw up a jerky drawing right here on the spotter stand. I ain't going to announce it. You're going to have to be here watching to be a part of it. So that's coming. Just wait.
Well, speaking of good fortune and beef jerky, I've got a couple of more picks for you here. This is
some good fortune right here.
Yes, it is. This is from BSR Nelly. This is a pick. There's a pic of his plaque from the AK Racer Winner Series. He was the winner of the Cup Series. And you can see all that beef jerky. Looks like he's got about 10 bags of jerky sitting there. Also, his polar bear from the Polar Bear 500 sitting there beside that jerky. Looks like he's got a few diecasts sitting behind that as well.
Got some swag. We got some swag down there, doesn't he? Yeah. A little Terry Labonte, maybe. Yeah.
Nelly, definitely no shortage of jerky right now, though. 10 bags of jerky down there, and that's a pretty cool plaque. It's got the picture of AK on pit road there working on the truck. As we all know, AK was he was a member of a NASCAR truck team. And that's a pic of him right there on the plaque for his championship. So great looking plaque he's got there, and a lot of great jerky.
Man, it sure is. And I'll tell you, I was fortunate enough to be the champion of the first year of the AK series last year, and I got a plaque that looks just like that, and it is without a doubt holds a very special place in my heart because my old buddy AK out there getting it done on pit road in real life. We simulate this stuff, but it's because of our love of the real stuff, and it's just great to have. And that's a pile of drunken cow jerky right there. I mean, that's you wouldn't want to just let everybody know you had that much jerky lying around. I can tell you that. You're gonna have to be stashing it somewhere.
Oh yeah, it'll go fast when people know you got that. Now, I see Eli, I believe it is, posting out there in the chat, said that I did the same for him. So I guess one of my jerky donations went to Eli for his first jerky prize as well.
How much jerky have you won?
Texas just
A fair amount.
nonstop gets jerky.
I've won a
Yeah,
fair
like,
amount.
I
I've donated a
think
fair
I-
amount of it as well here, as we can see, more than I could even remember.
Hell, you won some in the drawing this week.
I sure did.
You just all you
Well,
got
that's
is
why-
just show up and jerky's just falling out the sky on your head, ain't it?
Well, I think that's part of the reason why I tend to, to donate. If I win jerky, like I just won a couple of bags, if some other jerky prize happens to come up pretty soon and I'll end up winning that, then I'll have to donate that as well, because I like to, let everybody have a little taste of it. It's no fun when you got one guy sucking up all the prizes. That ain't no fun.
No, you don't want to be that guy, do you?
No, I don't want to be that
I
guy.
know you don't. Well, at least you don't want to be that guy. That's all we need to know, and everybody's benefiting from it. So everybody's winning here. So great job, Texan.
Well, thank you. And I've got one more pic of Nelly here to share with you guys. Actual picture of Nelly. He's got his "This Is My Racing" shirt, the Bomb Squad Racing "Hello Sunshine, Hello" logo on it. That came from BSR Tyler and his girl. Awesome shirt. I happen to have one of those, and I love that thing. I love wearing it. He's holding his plaque and his polar bear here. And one thing you can tell from this picture, you can tell Nelly works for a living. Look at those blue jeans.
You know, the one thing about this picture and I've seen pictures of Nelly before, but the one thing, and the first time I ever seen that, I've known Nelly for 15 years. First time I ever seen him, looks exactly like he sounds, doesn't he?
Yeah, actually, he does.
And he
Only
looks
thing
like
I
his
didn't know
name
that
should
Nelly
be Nelly.
didn't have any feet, though. It does kind of look like that from the picture there. This is the way that
Yes.
picture is taken. But yeah, I'm sure he's got some feet down there somewhere. I mean, he's got to push the pedals every night when he races.
Absolutely. Looks exactly the way you would think the picture you get in your head of somebody that because we do that all the time. We talk to people and we may not exactly know I mean, by now we all know but you see what I'm saying. I mean, he does look exactly like he sounds.
Well, congrats, Nelly, on all that great jerky and the AK Winter Series. Nelly having a pretty good season in the 2019 racing season so far, as we'll see when we get along to the points here. Let's go on and get into the last week's racing. Wednesday night, we run the Truck Series, as you all know, and of course we did run at Texas Motor Speedway in the trucks. And this Wednesday, another new winner. It was BSR Wings in that number 31 Cheetos machine. It ain't easy being cheesy, but Wings brought home the victory on Wednesday night in the trucks at Texas. Great job, Wings.
Top 5, Larry?
1 second. Regret's got it. Hang on.
Wings in first. RJ Rusty in second. Monty Keller in third. Nelly in fourth. And rounding out the top 5 is Mayhem.
Good job to all those guys. Good to have the girl power with us tonight on the starter stand. How about that Wings, man? That
How about
Wings is
that
on
Wings?
fire.
Yeah, he led quite a few laps. Look at that, led 34 laps in that race as well. Mayhem, rounding out the top 5, led the most there with 38, but Wings, 34 laps led at Texas. Obviously, he had a good truck, and he brought home the victory. Once again, if you look down there at laps led, there's quite a few drivers that ended up leading laps during that race, trying to get that bonus point, trying to get their way into the top 5 before the segment comes to the end and the segment bonus points are handed out. Let's go take a look at the standings here in the Truck Series as we finished up at Texas Motor Speedway. It is BSR Pockets still holding the top spot. Can you believe that? Pockets holding the top spot in the trucks with a tie for second place between BSR SS Joba and Vince Conway, both down by 4 points. You got Monty Keller sitting in fourth, down by 8, and BSR Mayhem in fifth place, down by 11. Now Wings looks like I think he's missed a race or two in this series, but with that victory, he did move up 3 spots, take over 13th spot. He's back by 45 points. Pretty close race though up there at the front. Pocket's still holding that top spot down. You've been doing a great job so far this season, and SS Joba, Vince Conway right on your heels, both down by 4.
Let me tell you what I've been doing. I've been finishing just barely ahead of you and Larry because y'all been having so much trouble. I finished 11th and still maintain the points lead. That's not going to last forever. You know what I mean? You can't live on 11th place finishes. I seen where y'all two finished in that race too, and it's just the cards or the dominoes are kind of falling backwards. You know what I mean? I'm getting lucky due to the unfortunate situation. Some of the other drivers who usually have good finishes are they're kind of having some situations here, but we head to Bristol. Oh, Lord. 4 points ahead, 2 of them tied. Vince Conway, SS Joba. I mean, Monty Keller in there, Mayhem. Man, that's going to be tough. This is going to be, but you know what? We don't go to Bristol, do we? We're off.
Yeah, I believe the trucks are off this coming week, and we will be running in the dirt, will we not, Larry?
Yes, we will be running in the dirt.
What track are we going to be going to this coming Wednesday?
We are going to the Devil's Bowl.
Oh, the Devil's Bowl.
Oh, that is your hometown.
Yeah, literally my hometown
Literally
of Mesquite, Texas.
Your hometown. So we're going to be in Texas with the Texan at the Texans' hometown at the Mesquite. There you go.
Yes, at the Devil's Bowl.
That'll be Wednesday night. When does this series pick back up later on? About a month or so, ain't it?
Yes, the Dirt Series runs the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Next 4 weeks straight.
4 weeks. Does it tell you? Do you know where we picked this series back up at? Back in the trucks?
Yes. Hang on. I got somebody sitting in my chair. So.
I'll move.
Well, I'm putting him on the spot. Scoring and scheduling office has got to ruffle through their paper.
The next truck race is at Dover.
Oh, Dover. Well, Texan, at least I can enjoy this little 4-week stretch of being the points leader. Looks like it.
Hey, I only got one thing to say. I'm glad to be going back to the dirt.
I'm sure you are. They don't call you the foot doctor for nothing. I'm gonna go and let you spray some dirt on me, I guess. So there you go. And congratulations to BSR Wings for joining the Victory Lane Club. Evidently, I'm going to have to hire a professional cleaning service because all these people are starting to, earn their way into the private section there. So it's getting to be quite a crowd up in there. So they'll all enjoy the benefits of being named a winner and being allowed to have their names entered into the Victory Lane Club. So congratulations to Wings.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to see what I can do about getting us a new little graphic besides just the bonus points to see who's won a race, and do us an actual graphic for the Victory Lane Club and add all the names from all the series, everybody who's won a race
Absolutely.
this season, and we can have everybody sitting in one box there together.
Yeah, I look cool. And when we come up with that was one of the things. It was just one of those little extra things that you wanted to be able to add your name to that list to be with all the other people who've worked hard and got lucky and fortunate, done what it took to be able to pull off a victory here at Bomb Squad Racing. And hey, who wouldn't want to be in that club? I mean, that's the ultimate goal anyway. At least you're going to get special recognition for being able to pull that off, because it's not something that's easy to do, and it's deserving of recognition.
And it has been, we've had a couple of repeat winners this series, or this season, in a couple of the different series. But for the most part, we've had a different winner almost every single week in every single series. So there's a lot of guys breaking into the Victory Lane Club and getting victories and wins this season. Like I said, just a couple of repeats.
And I tell you, as a race promoter, administrator, racer, that's what you want to see right there, because you're laying down some serious competition, and that there's everybody's working hard, everybody's got a chance, and then they're making it happen, and that's what you want to see, because people come to race. They don't want to come to a race and the same guy wins 7 races in a row. They want to be want to be able to get in the mix, and maybe things will work out right for them if they work hard and put themselves in there. And I'm gonna tell you right now, every one of these Victory Lane guys have earned that. They ain't nobody give them that. They had to get up on that wheel and earn it. They had to get it, and that's how they did. And that's why I'm being in that box. Texan, are you in the Victory Lane Club?
I have had one win this season, I believe.
Oh,
in the
okay.
truck
All right. I
series.
just haven't run into you in there. I wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure. I thought you may have been in there. I know Larry's in there. I seen him in there the other day. He was smoking a cigar and drinking a beer.
Yeah,
So-
I believe I brought home a victory at Martinsville in the truck series.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
There you go. So, well, like I said, it's getting to be quite a distinguished little group in there, and we hope that well, I hope to see everybody get in there. I want every damn body to get in there, because that'll mean that they've done what they needed to do, and that's what it's all about, coming and racing and seeing if you can pull off a win. And like our man Wings, man, he's raced here a long time. It was a great popular win. Everybody was excited, and he raced his ass off to get that. So there you go.
Let's move over, take a look at Thursday night.
Thursday was rough.
Yeah, well, actually, I think we had the best race out of all 3 nights on Thursday night. We did have green flag pit stops in the Cup Series, and some good green flag racing. That truck series was tough, quite a few cautions, and I think we had quite a few on Friday night as well. But Thursday night, we did have a few cautions, but we ended up with some green flag pit stops and some good long green flag runs during this race. And Thursday, it was BSR Poor Boy in that number 24 Monster Energy Machine that brought home the victory in the Cup Series at Texas. Great job, Poor Boy. Well-deserved win, man. Good job.
Yeah, good win, Poor Boy. In second is Nelly. Steve Looney in third, Monty Keller in fourth, and rounding out the top 5 is Terry Scott.
That all the usual suspects, and look at BSR Poor Boy. Roger Blevins, like we're talking about, that's his first trip to the Victory Lane Club, is it not?
Yes, it is.
All right, now look, we'll stop right here and welcome Roger Blevins to the Victory Lane Club. I'm going to have Rick Craddock talk to him, because they're both from Kentucky, and I'm going to let Rick explain to Roger what I had to explain to Rick before he come in there. He has to wear shoes in the Victory Lane Club. There's no way around it. So we'll let him know that, and we'll get his key and everything for him, and we'll welcome him in there and be glad to see him.
I think he's going to want to wear shoes. He's liable to step in something that he may not like or be too happy
He
about.
may. I mean, he may. It's a possibility. That's why I said I need to hire the professional cleaning crew, but we're on that. I'll get that taken care of this week.
Well, looking at the results here, it looks like BSR Barry led the most laps. Didn't have the greatest finish, back in 16th place, but he did manage to get that extra point for leading the most laps, led 29 of them. Mayhem in there again with quite a few laps, led 25. But we did lead 9 laps before he pulled off the victory here at Texas. And yeah, even I think this was my best finish of the week. Look at me, I'm back there in 13th place. Managed to lead about 14 laps and 13th, my best finish of the entire week. So yeah, that's a pretty rough week. Looks like you did a little better. Well, no, you didn't, Larry, did you? You finished in 18th place.
You know, this whole time when he introduces the Thursday night race, I'm thinking to myself, oh, he thought this was the best race of the week. He must have done better here than he did at the other ones because, Larry, which race did you and I argue about that we didn't have a green flag pit stop?
Thursday night.
It was Wednesday we argued?
Yeah, no, we argued Thursday or Friday that we didn't have one on Thursday, which we did not have one on Thursday.
All right.
Yes,
now,
we did. We had
See, here we go.
No, it was Wednesday we had the green flag stop.
Yes.
We almost
Yeah.
had a green flag stop on Thursday night. Not quite.
Almost. And I promise you, I believe we had more cautions on Thursday than we did on Wednesday, did we not?
No,
Which one did we have the most?
we had 13 on Wednesday, and I believe we only had 11 on. Or we had 13 on Thursday. We only had 11 on Wednesday, I believe. Hang on, I'm checking right now.
Okay, so see, the thing I'm trying to point out here is that the the white Texans remembered this race.
We had one more. We had one more caution Thursday night than we had Wednesday night. Wednesday night we only had 12, and Wednesday nights were all right together. They were nobody could get started.
Restarts, yeah, yes.
maybe it was
Once
Friday
they got
night. Then
started,
do we have green flag stop
Friday night
No.
was the good night. Yes, Friday night was the night that where we didn't have as many cautions. We had a green flag pit stop, if not two.
I know we had one on Wednesday. I don't remember having one on Friday either.
You don't?
No,
Hell, we
But-
may not have.
but Friday. Hang on. Yes, Friday was a better race. It had less caution. So we probably did have a green flag stop. I just don't remember one on Friday.
Well, but that was still a great ride. I mean, there was a lot of action in that thing. And I'll say it again. You know what leads to cautions, and that's racing hard and people getting after it and digging hard and trying and wanting to win. And Thursday night was the big prize. That's the drunkencowjerky.com. Mark Heyman, Richard Heyman provided the prize for our friend BSR poor boy Roger Blevins, and he is currently having a nice prize package from Drunken Cow Jerky shipped to his door for winning that race also. So that's a big deal. And we also had some drawings this week to celebrate us being in Texas, along to support our great sponsor, Drunken Cow Jerky.
Let's take a look at the points on Thursday night after Texas Motor Speedway. Well, I got to get rid of these points. There we go. I keep forgetting I have to get rid of those previous points before I go to the next one. BSR Nelly moved up 4 spots to take over the lead of the Cup Series, with Rick Craddock dropping out of the lead, dropping down back to second, only down by 2 points. And look at Monty Keller. Monty moved up 4 spots to take over third place, only down by 3 points. Myself, I dropped 2 positions down to fourth, down by 5. And BSR SS Joba also moved up a spot to take over fifth, down by 7 points. And back from SS, if you look at the next few drivers, Terry Scott by 8, Pockets down by 9, Wings down by 10, Brain Fade down by 11. It's close right there. The top 9 only separated by 11 points, as we're quite a few races into this Cup Series already.
And where does this series head this week? Thursday night?
Bristol, baby.
Whew. The fastest half mile on the planet. Any thoughts?
I kind of can't wait till we get to Bristol.
You know, Bristol is just like Martinsville. We were talking about this the other day. It's surprisingly Now it can get out of hand quick. I mean, it can just be it can be a
Bristol-
county fair demolition derby in a flip of a switch, but it has known to produce some great racing and even green flag pit stops, and I've seen it. I mean, it's surprising.
I have a really good long run set up at Bristol, and yes, I remember quite a few good races where we get some real long runs at Bristol.
And I will tell you this. It's the one thing about Bristol that I will say. We're going to see who loves to simulate real racing by who pulls up and unloads their car and take the green flag at Bristol, because it's Bristol. Anybody that knows what that means. That's going to be...
Tempers be flying again like Martinsville.
I mean, people think that Talladega is the wild card. Shoot, I'll tell you, I don't want to draw the Bristol card out of the deck, but I'm gonna tell you, it's come. And see, that's one of the things, you kind of dread it, but you kind of look forward to it. It's just one of those unique tracks that's different than most of the ones that we race on, unlike any other track that we race on, and that's what kind of makes you smile when you pull up in the parking lot and unload your car there.
Yeah, Bristol, one of the toughest place to restart in the entire series. Bristol is a short, tight little track, and restarting with 15, 20 cars all bunched up together, it's tough, But if you're in the back, you can find yourself, half a lap down
Yes.
by the time you've completed the first lap on the restart. So, Bristol, tough track. And like I said, we usually end up with some good races there. We get through the first few laps and guys get settled in, and we have some good green flag runs. But man, the restarts at Bristol, they're a challenge.
Yes.
Now
Yes,
let me ask you a question.
You don't want to run up and get in trouble, but yet you don't want to get that freaking way, way, way back there and get yourself in trouble going a lap down real quick.
Okay, so with the double file restart, the line is half as long, but now it's twice as dangerous down into turn one. Which would you prefer, single file at Bristol or double file, just like everywhere else?
Double file, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you this question, Texan. You want to restart on the inside, or you want to restart on the outside? Your choice.
Inside. Every time at Bristol,
that's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yes,
Every time.
Bristol is a good low side racetrack. You got a good bit of grip down there. I'd much rather start on the inside than the outside.
Well,
Yeah.
you
You can hold your own on the outside if you've got a good setup, but 9 times out of 10, the guy on the bottom is going to get that position unless he makes some kind of mistake or gets a little loose coming out the corner. Starting on the outside, you're going to lose at least a spot or two before you can find your way back in the line.
shortest distance and momentum there at the top really isn't going to make up that distance that much. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't, does it?
No,
You
the
can't-
momentum don't. The momentum don't help you really there at Bristol. It's the short distance is what counts there.
And I will tell you this, one of the things that you never, people don't ever really talk about it. You've heard a little bit of discussion over race chatter over the radios, but when you've got a race like Bristol and you're going to have some cautions, you already know you're going to have some cautions, and those late race cautions, that starting position is going to be so important whether you're on the top or the bottom. When the caution flag flies, or you'll see people, maybe they want to, if they think, like if they hear a wreck and the caution hasn't flown yet,
Yes, you can back off 2 spots to get yourself to the inside.
they be doing a little math project trying to figure out who's going to get to be on the bottom, and because you want to be on the bottom.
The
So
only pro-
that's a strategy that's
The only problem that's ever thrown that out the window on me pockets when I figure that kind of stuff out is the guys that pit that you think aren't going to pit. That kind of changes that around.
Yeah, that'll get you every time. You you do that little bit that you need to try to make sure you start on the inside, and then somebody ahead of you pits and puts you on the outside. So
All right, so in my mind, you need to just do like you always do, race like hell, hold your position. You know what I mean? Stay,
That's right.
and it is what it is.
Yes. Now, here's the thing, and I have done this quite a few times, where I have checked and figured out the F2 coming off of pit road and let a guy or two go by just to get on the bottom side. I have done that. I still do that. Yep.
You know, I don't really think about it really hard unless I'm in third or fourth place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
that
If
third place slot, right down on the bottom, in front of the leader and the second. I mean, behind the leader in the second place, but you're on the bottom, right behind whoever chooses to be on the inside. That is the
you might as well be in second place.
Catbird seat right there, because those two in front of you, they're looking at each other, giving each other mean looks and revving their motor up and everything, and you're sitting right back there watching them, saying, "If those two, where will you be?" That's the catbird seat as far as I'm concerned. So
yes, but when I get inside the top 10 buckets at a place like Bristol, I start counting that kind of stuff, because it's the difference from staying inside the top 10 to getting outside the top 10. So yes, big difference there.
And then you're going to have some more of that pit strategy like we've been seeing. Have y'all noticed that the pit strategy has picked up quite a bit with, do I go in, do I stay out in those late laps? There's been a little bit of, there's been some people make some choices that they don't normally make, or making mistakes or something right there on that. Man, you got to be up on your toes on that deal right there, because there's more than a little bit of luck involved there, but still got to make the right decision, because just like in any race, you go in and thinking, oh man, this is going to be green. There's going to be 2 or 3 green flag pit stops, and you end up maybe not having any, but there's a lot of strategy behind this. It's not just driving around in a circle, I can assure you.
Yeah, that strategy has paid off for several drivers this season, with making the decision to stay out late and not take that pit stop and take those tires, and it's paid off and got some good finishing positions for some drivers this season.
Yeah, because that's the one thing about the way we race and the way we simulate, is that we have a spotter, but we don't have no damn crew chief. Guess what? You are the crew chief and the driver. You're making the call from the seat, baby, and you got to be paying attention. There's mistakes that can be made right there. There's advantages that can be made right there. And you have to decide right now, before you get to that pit road entrance, you got to make up your mind. And it's great to watch those guys wait and see who does. You'll see a little fake here or there. You'll see some guys go. And sometimes when you see a guy go, right then changes your whole strategy. Texan's going in. Shoot, let me start in front of him. I'm staying out. And that's how that all plays out. It all comes down to that last time down pit road, or the first time you come around there to see who's going to take the bait and who's not going to, and it changes everybody as they roll by there. So that's going to be interesting here at Bristol. I'm excited. Y'all excited about Bristol?
Well, here's another fact about Bristol that we haven't discussed yet. This is a Stillwater 5150 challenge.
I forgot all about that. Thank you so much.
Sweetwater, I believe.
Sweetwater.
Oh, yes, Sweetwater. You're right.
From our friend Axel Foley.
So then next week on the spotter stand, we'll be getting another look at the Sweetwater 5150 challenge and the points as they stand when we leave Bristol. Another Sweetwater track. And Bristol, one of the tracks we do return to twice.
That is correct. And this is race 3 of the 8 races.
I just hope Axel wasn't expecting for me to remember all of that, because evidently I'm not going to, but I got Larry. Larry's got
Larry's
the
on
book
top
over
of
there. Larry,
Yes, Barry is the points leader, one up on Rick Craddock. Joba's back 5, tied with Wings at 5 back. Then we have another
Wings,
tie right
Joba,
after
Barry.
that. Then we have
Woo.
another tie right after that. At 6 out is Terry Scott and Steve Looney. Monty Keller is back by 8. Then Pockets 13 at 8th place.
So Thursday night's going to be a huge deal.
Yes. And Texan trying to make up some big points that he was down, trying to get up through there, and needs a good run.
Oh, I finished,
Oh,
I think,
I
nearly
won
dead
nearly.
last in the very first Sweetwater challenge, 5150.
Yes, you're starting to make up some ground. You got a long road to haul, but enough time to get there. You're only 20 points back, so that's pretty safe for you, I think.
I need some victories. I think that's about the only thing that's going to get me there with these dropped races and taking your best of the 2 out of the 3 tracks we go to twice, because the track that I did so terrible in is one of the tracks we only visit once, so I don't get opportunity to make any better points on that track. So victories is the only thing that's going to help me out, but I just don't think I'm going to be able to get up there. I may get close. Maybe I'll be lucky to get back into the top 5 in that 5150 challenge, but I think it's going to be somebody else going to bring home that win.
Who do you think it is?
Probably one of them guys that are sitting right there in the top 5 right now.
Let me see who you got. Hey, you got Nelly. Rick Craddock.
Barry, Rick Craddock, Joba, Wings, Terry Scott, Steve Looney.
Yeah, my money is on Nelly or possibly Steve Looney. Steve Looney, good driver. He's going to do good at most of these tracks. So my money be on one of those 2 guys.
Nelly's 15 points back, guys.
Oh, I thought you said he was up there in the front.
No, it's Barry.
Barry, BSR
Rick
Barry. Look at
Craddock.
that. Barry has
SF
been having some
Joba.
great runs this season. Have you guys
Oh,
noticed that?
led a
Barry,
lot of laps. Yeah,
Barry's been having a great
absolutely.
season.
Absolutely. He didn't get put on top of the Sweetwater 5150 challenge by lottery. He earned his spot up there. So yeah, he's doing great. So yeah, this is gonna be huge. We'll have all the standings and everything for that next week on the spotter stand as we line them up and see who not only how they fare in the Drunken Cow Jerky, but this is the little side series that Axel has put on with us, and he's providing some prizes for it, and it's going to go right up to the chase. Or does it go into the chase?
It goes into the chase.
Yes, it goes into the chase. So that's an exciting deal right there. I can't believe I forgot that.
Yes, the last race on the schedule is Las Vegas, which is definitely a chase race.
There's some good tracks in there. This is going to be exciting. I'm going to tell you, you know what this all sounds like to me, don't you? You know that sound the car makes when you just flat spot it on the inside wall and then about 3 cars pile into you? You know that sound that makes? That's what it sounds like to me.
That crunch sound, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's what it sounds like.
the spotter stand has her money on Mr. Steve Looney.
Well, I'll tell y'all what, if we're going to pick somebody, I'm picking Monty Keller.
I'm picking Joba.
That's not a bad pick, man. That Joba, he up on that wheel.
Yes, he is.
We finna talk about him.
As long
Yes,
as I
we
can
are.
As long as I can stay out of his road, because it seems like I'm always in his way.
Well, speaking of Joba, let's move on. Take a look at Friday night. Friday night, the Xfinity Series. Once again at Texas Motor Speedway. And, this driver, SS Joba, he's been dominating the Saturday night team series here lately. He's won a lot of super speedway races, but this week, BSR SS Joba bringing home his first victory on the speedways at Texas Motor Speedway in that number 56 Call of Duty ride. Brings home the victory in the Xfinity Series at Texas Motor Speedway. Great job, SS Joba.
Yes, good job, SS Joba, for the wins. Pockets in second, Barry in third, Brain Fade in fourth, and Steve Looney rounding out the top 5.
You know, SS Joba pulls off a great win right there at Texas, the home of our sponsor, Drunken Cow Jerky. And I figure he would probably be in here on the spotter stand but I don't think his big head will fit into team speak, so that's probably why he's not here.
Well, yeah, he has managed to drop in here the last few weeks.
He'll be in Saturday night. We didn't get to Saturday night yet. When we get to Saturday night, he'll be in here.
Oh yeah, he may be.
That's usually when he pops in.
Well, maybe somebody's probably gonna have to deflate his head a little bit so he can get up on top of the spotter stand, but we'll see. But that's a great win right there, man. I mean, we talked about how exciting Texas is, and I tell you, did I get lucky? Because if I'm not mistaken, that might have been the race I come back from 2 laps down, was it? Maybe.
I believe so. I know me, you, Barry, and somebody else were up there in the end. That's the race I blew first gear on the freaking last restart.
Yeah, I remember Monty Keller. He didn't have he didn't have second or fourth gear. He had first and third. And so that was. Where'd you finish at there, Texan? You did. There you are.
I did 12th. Looks like I actually did finish one spot better in Friday night series than I did in Thursday night. 12th place. I led 16 laps, sat on the pole, but just not a great week for me. Outside the top 10, I think all week long at Texas Motor Speedway. SS led the most laps with 25, and there's Mayhem once again with 23 laps led. Mayhem, another driver, has been having a great season this year. Top 10, he finished in 10th place, but we've talked about him in just about every one of these series. He's led quite a few laps at Texas Motor Speedway this week.
Wasn't it Friday night? He had a freaking rocket ship. I don't know what happened to him at the end of the race, but early on he had a rocket ship.
I know what happened to him. He'd been down there talking to them medicine cabinet boys. I know damn good and well because you seen how I told y'all last week on the spotter stand, and you can go back and quote me on it. I said them boys from the medicine chest, they gonna be contenders at Texas. They always are. That's like I told our good friend BSR RJ Rusty. I said, you know how you can always tell it's Texas? RJ's here 5 minutes early. So there you go. That's congratulations, SS. That was a good win. I can remember when right there at the end, he messaged me on the radio and said, "Man, what about that? I just won at Texas." And I said, "Hell yeah!" I mean, that's just like that's just like back in the good old days, right there. And that Texas track. I mean, I tell you, the competition has ramped itself up, and I'm not just talking about. I'll be honest with you. Things are falling right where I need them to for me, But the competition here, man. We've talked about Wings and Joba and Barry and Steve Loney and Monty Keller and just it's mayhem. I mean, we've got so many people to talk about that we can't even mention them all because they are contenders every week, and that's what you want to see right there. That's what we like. This is this competition package. The rules of this league, the rules for competition are firing on all cylinders right now, and it is a sweet thing to witness. It really is. I'm proud of all the work that everybody has done to help make this thing happen.
Yeah, it has been a great season, and there's, you just mentioned Barry, and we were talking about him just a little bit earlier. What a great season he's been having. There he is in third place, finishing third in the Xfinity Series at Texas, led 17 laps. So, and you're right. Things have been kind of falling into place for you, as we'll see when we get over to the bonus points. Take a look at those. You've done pretty well this season. You're having a great season so far, and hopefully I won't throw the jinx on you, and it'll continue. You might just win yourself a championship this year.
It's way too early to be talking that smack. Don't even be talking about it.
Don't throw that monkey on you.
Yeah. You talk about trying to jinx somebody. He's trying to trip me before I even get out the gate. But the one thing we haven't talked about is these are the big bonus point events, special race event points here too. So when we get to look at this bonus point deal, that's going to be a big deal. Yeah. As we said, it was
3 points were handed out to the victors of all three of these series. 2 points to the second place finishers, and 1 point to third, fourth, and fifth. So these were big bonus point races at Texas.
Absolutely. So this changes everything.
Let's take a look at the point standing so far in the Xfinity Series. It is Steve Looney at the top of the board in the Xfinity Series on Friday night, with BSR Pockets with that second place finish moved up 2 spots to take over second place, only down by 4 points. BSR SS Joba with the victory moved up 6 spots to tie myself for third place, down by 11. And we got Brain Fade also moved up a spot, taking over fifth, down by 13. Oh, Steve Looney holding on to the top spot up there. He's had it for the last couple of weeks. Pockets moving up a couple spots. SS, that's a big move there. 6 positions with that victory, taking over tie for third place. Close racing here. We've got quite a few. I think we're about halfway through the first segment now in this Xfinity Series. As we move on from Texas, and this series will be going to Bristol next week as well, will it not?
We are halfway through the Cup and the Xfinity Series.
Yes, and it does go to Bristol. So this is going to be a...
Well, time is just flying by this year, isn't it? We're already halfway through the first segment. That puts us about 6-7 races in already. The 2019 season is just flying by.
I'll ask you in August how fast it's going.
But yeah, that's exactly what I was going to point to, Pockets. The first segment always flies. The grind don't start till you get to segment 2. When that segment 2 hits and the grind starts, that's when you'll see the real guys.
Yeah, we ain't to the meat and potatoes yet, are we? We still on the dinner salad. Just wait.
Let's move on and take a look at Saturday night.
That's 2 Ironmans talking right there, Texan.
Yeah. I missed it by 1 race last year.
You
know the meat and potatoes. You know the meat and potatoes.
I only missed it by 1 race the year before, Texan. So,
as far as I'm concerned, nobody knows more about the meat and potatoes because you're the 2018 champion in all 3 series. So yeah, enjoy your dinner salad.
And I enjoyed all that beef jerky that came along with that too.
You sure did, didn't
Absolutely.
you? I bet.
So let's take a look at Saturday night, the team series. Battle of the 6 Flavors and Wolf Bites. We are almost finished with season 37 at this point. Just 2 races left to go until this season comes to an end. And the Drunken Cow Jerky season 37. And we did have a different victor this week. It was the Ghost Team. BSR Ray 5050 in that number 11 Drunken Cow Jerky Ghost Flavored machine brought home the victory for his team at Talladega. Great job, Ray. That was a great race. That Reaper team who's been dominating so far this season, SS was kind of by himself there at the end of the race, and still managed to hold his own and pull off a decent finish for his team. But that Ghost Team, they got it done this week, man. They took the victory and gained some points on that Reaper team.
Ray Fitty, and I want everybody to notice right down here in the chat box, right here on YouTube. See him down there?
Absolutely, I see him down there. He's been talking.
Now let me ask you a question: have y'all seen him in any of the other ones? Did he just show up just to hear us talk about Ray getting the great win on Battle of the 6 Flavors and Wolf Bites, or did he just?
No, I think he's in there because I went down. I saw him and DJ were down there playing Most Wanted, I believe, and or they might have just been in the Most Wanted room, maybe playing some Battleship or
he was
something.
On the Roundup, the Texas Roundup.
I was on the Roundup, making my way through the rooms and posting links and trying to get everybody to come and watch tonight. So I think he's here because of that, and it's just a bonus he gets to hear us talk about him and his victory at Talladega.
Absolutely, and what a victory it was! I'm gonna tell you, that Fitty, he gets up on that wheel at them super speedways, man. And I'm telling you, one thing about Ray is, for some reason, if you get behind him or he gets behind you, man, you just feel fast running with that guy. I mean, you just like he's like the Pied Piper, man. That 11 car is hooked up every Saturday night, and he does a great job. It's he's got his fair share of wins, I will assure you.
Well, yeah,
He
Ray
will.
and your teammate DJ Champ, those two guys, both of them, they're like two peas in a pod. There, DJ
Yeah.
obviously the king of qualifying, but as far as the racing goes, Ray 50, DJ Champ, if you're going to be behind somebody, one of those two guys are the guys to be behind because they are flying.
I do know that his teammate definitely helped him win.
I think I know who his teammate was.
I had
Who
a
was
bad fast car, and I was blocking my butt off.
65 car?
Yeah, that'd be right.
Yeah, that thing was that was some getting down to it, head cutting racing right there at the end of that thing, man. Ray, he got himself out there. Like I said, Ray ain't no stranger to being out there. You know what I mean?
We were yakking, and he told me he put 75 tape on. That he was pretty sure that with a little bit of help he could get past DJ. And I told him that on Whisper that he had led more laps than me, so he had to get in front of me. But I was going to try whatever I could to get in front of DJ, and as long as I could get in front of DJ, he got back by me. There wasn't nobody getting by us. And
that was a great
how it
race.
ended.
That was a great race to watch because I was out of that one early with a little bad luck, and I ended up moving down to the booth with Tricia and helped call the rest of that race. And even though I had some bad luck, that was actually a good race. It was a lot of fun to watch the end of that and watch the battles that were going on up there in that front pack. That was it was a good race.
It was. They always are on Saturday night, man.
And to SS's defense, he did not want Beer Bacon to win, so he kind of helped us get out there too. So yes, SS kind of helped us too.
Yeah, you better not want Beer Bacon to win.
That's right. Beer Bacon was in second place behind Reaper, so if he can't win the race, he's got to do whatever he can to minimize the damage.
That's right, and I kind of knew that, and kind of made him help us.
All right, let's see what we got to do here. Let's look at the points.
All right, well let's
Who
take a look
races to
first
go?
at the.
Oh, I'm sorry, getting off script. There's your boy, Larry. There's your teammate, your ghost teammate, Ray Fitty.
Well, I'm having the troubles here. I pushed the dang button while I was talking. Give me just a second.
Feel okay now, Trish?
There we go. Now I got it. For some reason, when I push my talk button and try to click one of these scenes off, it throws everything off, and I have to switch over and switch back before it'll let me switch things off again. This is the finishing order of our teams on Saturday night at Talladega. Obviously, Ghost took the victory. That
We
looks
got a
like
black screen.
it looks like they led the most laps as well. Ray 50 managed to lead 37 laps. And so not only did he take home the victory, led a lap, and led the most laps. So Ghost maximized their points on Saturday night with 48. The hot team coming in next there with 42 points. And Carolina Reaper team didn't do too terribly bad of a finish. They got 41 points. And looks like Beer Bacon, Reaper, looks like SS didn't lead a lap at all that race. So the Beer Bacon team, I believe, finished one spot behind the Reaper team, but did lead some laps, so that got them that extra bonus point. So even though they didn't gain any points on that Reaper team, they didn't lose any either. Both of them coming out with 41 points. Original team coming out with 39, Teriyaki with 36, and the Wolf Bites rounding out the field there with 34 points. So Ghost team definitely gained some on the leaders, on the Reaper points. They gained 7. And looks like the points are going to stay the same between Reaper and Beer Bacon with 2 races to go. Let's take a look and check it out. And it's done it to me again. I'm going to have to click over and click back. Sorry, fellas.
No problem.
Hey, no big deal.
All right, there are point standings as we stand. 8 races in, just 2 races to go. The Reaper team with a commanding 16-point lead over Beer Bacon. The original team in third, down by 24. Ghost team with the victory and the 48 points did gain up a little bit, but they're still sitting back there in fourth, down by 25 points. And we got Teriyaki back by 47, Wolf Bites back by 54, and the Hot team rounding out the field down by 60. So with just 2 races to go, I don't think Original or Ghost at 24, 25 points back. I don't think either of those teams.
I have a chance to win.
I don't think that's going to happen. But Beer Bacon, 16 points, 8 points a race, that can definitely be done. It's possible. But, that Reaper team, as strong as they've been running, it's not going to be easy, that's for sure.
I started that race with nothing to lose through 75 tape, all ran 75 tape the whole race. Going to do it again next week. You're going to do it again last week.
Well, I can tell you this for sure, that all of these teams in the next 2 races at least have the opportunity of not getting their ass whipped quite as bad, and you can guarantee that that is on the top of their list of things to do. So the last 2 races is all going to be about, are we going to be able to beat them? And if we can't beat them, we at least need to make it look better than that right there. So there is that. And that will go down to the last lap of the last race until it is put into the history books here at Bomb Squad Racing. And you guarantee it, they're going to race it that way.
Well, all I can offer you is you got a great teammate there. You got a couple of great teammates, but DJ Champ is going to be sitting on the pole. And if you who's your third teammate?
Randy,
that's right.
Randy.
If you and Randy can manage to stay in line with that 91 car and push him to lead the most laps and get a victory. You guys can definitely maximize some points and gain as much as you can in these last 2 races.
I'll tell you that's exactly what needs to happen. And one thing we are not counting out here is that the super speedway racing, and if it's going to happen, it's going to be big. And I think it's worth noting that the 54 has been he's been kind of quiet. He wasn't even here last week, and they still maintain that kind of lead. But Roger Bevins is there, SS. He's fighting for his team, and they're going to be tough, almost impossible to beat. But that doesn't mean we're not going to show up and try to do that exact thing, because that's on the agenda. That's what we have to do. So we'll see what happens, and anything can happen in 2 races at Super Speedway. So we'll at least have something to talk about for the next 2 weeks here on the spotter stand.
That's all about the pit stops. You got to have good pit stops. You got to stay in there in that lead draft, not get a black flag. And that's what it comes down to. We know that Reaper team's been killing it all season long. Momo and SS, poor boy, great in the pits. They've all been doing a great job, and I'm sure they're not going to change that these last 2 races. Even though Momo wasn't there last week, I'm sure he'll be there for these last 2 races.
And I hit me some great pit stops this week.
Yeah, you did. I was watching that, and you ran an extra lap than a lot of the other cars. You ended up staying out by yourself for a full lap, and still after your pit stop came out pretty much in the lead.
I had Steven stay. Steven stayed out, and we ran around together and came into pits, and he I don't know, messed up somehow and got a black flag, so I had to go out by myself. But yeah, I had a huge lead and could actually catch the back of the draft by myself. So
Yeah, that's not
That's
easy to
pretty
do
easy.
when you're staying out that extra lap and there's, because it's all about the draft. And when everybody else goes into pit and there's 7, 8, 9, 10 cars all drafting together, that last lap right before you pitted was pretty fast. But when you stay out that next lap and there's only a couple of you, yeah, two cars drafting are faster, but not as fast as 8 or 10 cars drafting together. So that
Yeah, and
last
I'm
lap before
exactly
you pit is a little bit slower than everybody else's. So being able to get in and out of the pits and stay up there in the front, yeah, you had phenomenal pit stops.
yeah, I was out by myself, literally on that on my best pit stop. I came out by myself and had when they crossed the line, I was 4 seconds ahead of them.
Well, I'm gonna leave y'all. I'm gonna leave this right here. You're absolutely right. You got to have a great race. You got to nail your pit stops. You got to do all the things that are required. But one of the major things you got to do is to make sure that that rollback doesn't come back there to pick your car up off the back stretch, and that can happen very easily.
Yeah,
So, or
real
down
fast.
there in the tri-oval somewhere. So there is that, and that's something that everybody has to account for. And we're going to line them up and see what happens. I can promise you that.
We've got one more series to talk about here. And
I
it's
want to
doing
talk
it to
about
me
this too.
again. I don't know what is going on here.
Technology. That's what's going on.
There we go. Okay. Get the black screen gone one more time. The SST Super Truck Series, sponsored by WLS Graphics, we ran at the Coliseum this last Saturday night after the team series. Man, that was a hell of a race. That track right there, with the big hill going down, the big hill going up. Man, that was something. That was a hell, that was some fun stuff right there.
I wished I would have thought of it because I actually took some screenshots of me and Monty Keller coming off the big jump there at the Coliseum and him jumping over me and rolling me upside down in the air coming down the jump. that so tell me, Texan. I know Larry was in the TV booth during this, and he got to see a lot of good racing action. But tell me your thoughts on the race overall, the track, and all that stuff, Texan, because this is kind of a new series that we're working with, and Steve Looney's been kind enough to help us and do a lot of work fixing up some of these tracks and the things that we need to do this special kind of racing. But we are simulating a real racing series, and this is what this is. And so tell us what you thought about the track.
I That track was tough, man. I thought it was really tough, and I made a mistake pre-race, and I forgot to turn off the debris. And man, I tell you, I could not see anything when there were trucks in front of me. The dirt was flying everywhere, and it was hard for me to see. But man, that downhill, that big downhill jump, uh, going in, that was something. If you didn't slow down just right, if you got any kind of air off of that jump right there at all, it was tough to recover when you landed down at the bottom. I believe Tricia got disqualified on that. It was either on that jump or going
She was
back up the
going
hill.
up.
Yeah, going up.
Yeah, she was going up and hit the hay bales and couldn't catch it coming back down and got DQ'd.
Yeah, I had trouble getting up it, but I was awesome getting down it.
And when you had that trouble, every time I went up that hill, I was just like, "Oh Lord," you know what I mean? And I ran into some trouble up there on top of the hill, and I think it was with Texan and somebody else who were piled up right there in the little archway of the Coliseum going out to the parking lot. That's how crazy that is.
One night before I got DQ'd, someone actually saved me and pushed me up over it the rest of the way. So I was happy about that. But then the second time I got DQ'd. So
And I tell you what, Texan, I wanted you to weigh in on that because I wanted to see if you were going to say the first thing you were going to say about that track is yes, that is a very tough track. That is a difficult track. But man, how much fun was that?
That was fun. I tell you, when you're going down that hill, entering in to the Coliseum, uh, i- if you manage to stay on the ground and a truck in front of you got some air off of that jump, that was something to see right there. That happened to me several times. Truck I was right behind actually got some air off of that and was flying through the air down that hill while I was on the ground. And man, that's something to see right there. That was cool.
Now, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, and this may just be wishful thinking on my part. You know how you want something to be true so badly that it is. Y'all tell me, when you were jumping off that big jump, could you not adjust the what is it, the yaw and stuff of your, whether your truck would lean to the front or by the throttle and the gas while you were in the air, just like it really is when you're in the air, or is that just me? Because I figured out on that, I was going off that big bump, and I would just kind of let off the gas and everything and kind of hold my breath and just let it float. And I was nose heavy. I would nose dive in or almost flip over. One time I went over it, I just whoop, 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 whoop on that throttle, and it kind of held me a little bit level.
Yes, if you hit the brake, it would drop the nose when you were in the air. If you stood
Now,
on the gas,
so
would
what
pick it
you're
up
telling
over.
me is, is that this 16-year-old sim game that we play has that. I mean, is that the way it was, or am I dreaming that?
Nope, nope, it works. It's not super great and accurate, but it works.
Well, you guys were one up on me because I was not able to figure that out. I just was doing exactly what you said. If I got air, I was just letting off and letting it float, and it would not. I don't think I was able to land straight at all coming off of that thing. And it wasn't just that particular jump. There were several jumps in that were right on a turn or right after a turn. I was having trouble, man, just keeping it straight, keeping it on the track. Every every other jump I hit, it seems like I would land wrong, get my truck sideways, and it's hard to recover and get going again. And that rhythm section in that track with all the little whoop-de-doos, man, that was the tough part of that track too.
And let me tell you something. There's one little set of whoop-de-doos that's a rhythm, and there's one set of whoop-de-doos that I don't give a damn. You ain't got that kind of rhythm. There ain't no rhythm there. It's a sippy hole.
Let me tell you something as a broadcaster. Brain Fade had that rhythm section on both sides, freaking down pat. When he went through them, his truck just freaking sailed. I'm telling you, it was incredible how good he was in them timing sections.
Well, who won? We ain't even talking about who won
Let's
yet,
take
have
a
we?
look here. I managed to get us a little bit of a render here. It was BSR Scar, and that number 83, Drunken Cow Jerky. Looks like beer bacon flavored. Yellow truck. Maybe it's just yellow. Just got
Oh,
your straight up
WLS
Drunken Cow
Graphics,
Jerky.
Drunken
Yeah.
Cow Jerky. Yeah, yellow is his signature color.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see how. Did you make that?
That's just a screenshot from the game.
And you did that?
I did do that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, because I was going to say, oh, okay. So we didn't have any renders until Scar won race. Now we got, but you made it. So that's fine. I have to give him a hard time. But I bet you he's looking to do something. I can promise you that's eating at him not being able to make a render for that in that series, because that thing's a ton of fun, man. It really is. And I was going to tell you something else real quick, Killa, about those hills. Man, there was something about the top of those hills that you felt like you should be able to go over it smoothly, but it kicked you to one side or the other. And if you went a little too fast, it would amplify that. And I sat and watched the real ones jumping over the jumps at Texas Motor Speedway this weekend, and theirs was doing the exact same thing when they were going over them jumps. It would kind of kick to one side. They couldn't. It didn't seem like the way that the ramp was that they could land it just sweet on all four. They all kind of landed cockeyed a little bit. You know what I mean? So, me and Steve have talked and laughed about. You know, we've watched the real ones, and then we watch ourselves simulated, and we're pretty thrilled with the simulation that we're able to pull off here.
Yeah,
Yes,
this has been a great series.
Congratulations to Scar, Brain Fade second, Nelly third, Burko fourth, and Monty rounds out the top five.
Great win, Scar, man. I mean, what can you say? That series rolls on to next Saturday night. We'll be lining them up and doing it again. That thing's turned into a lot of fun, man. It really has.
But I'll bet you, Brain Fade is kicking himself in the butt because he had that race won hands down. He did one bobble. Scar got ahead of him, and he just ran out of laps chasing him down.
Well, if I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Who wouldn't love a road course, a dirt track, and Evel Knievel all in one race?
Where are we going to be headed to next weekend in this series?
Hang on, because I'm not on the schedule. We are headed to the track we did the testing with in the beginning, right, Pockets?
Yeah, I believe that's what it said.
Short.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the Arena Short, and we're running that back-to-back weeks.
Back-to-back weeks, so 2 weeks of that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's another tough track.
Let's take a look here at the standings after I switch back and forth here. Sorry, you guys have to keep seeing these scenes switch like this, but for some reason, every time I come back, it's not letting me click on these layers and remove them. It just keeps moving them up and down on me. I'm going to have to completely rearrange everything for next week because all these layers have moved forward and backwards on me. But give me 1 second. I'm going to switch it over here to the points.
Well, I can tell you this: I'm contractually obligated, so I'll be here till we're done. So take your time.
Rugrats rig is set to go, Pockets.
Oh, girl power!
She will be on her own rig, on her own desk, chasing the boys down.
Well, tell her the good thing about the track that we're going to run Saturday night is that I think it'll probably be a lot more difficult to get DQ'd. So,
yeah, I don't. Pit Road would be the only place. That's just a black flag, if memory serves me correct. Oh no! I'll bet you get stuck in the trees. Probably the worst thing can happen to you. I think I had that happen to me the first week.
My luck.
how many times do you think she'll go down to the race room there at the Jaeger compound and fire up the old computer and fire up that track we're going to race Saturday night and start learning the curves and the jumps and stuff?
I tell you what, if she does that and practices that throughout the week a little bit, she's liable to beat most of us come Saturday night.
I'll tell you, there's something to learning the track of those tracks, man. There's something to it.
My goal is by the end of the season, I finish at least one race in the top 5.
A dang good goal to have, and it can happen the way those races are structured. If you just stick to it and just be there when you need to be there, it can happen.
And yes, there will be a lot more practice going on for me once my computer's set up.
Uh-oh.
Well, currently BSR Nelly holding the top spot in this series with Brain Fade, moving up 2 spots to take over second, only down by 3. Monty Keller right there in third, down by 4. Steve Looney in fourth, down by 7. And BSR Pockets rounding out the top 5, down by 8. So Nelly doing a pretty good job here. Brain Fade right on his heels, moving up 2 spots at that last race, only down by 3 points. And Monty Keller, Steve Looney right there as well. So we've got quite a bit of racing left to go in this series, and it's going to be fun. I'm really enjoying this. It's something completely different than what we do every other night of the week, and all the jumps and the road course style racing. Even as tough as some of these tracks are, it's a lot of fun with everything that can happen to you, between trucks landing on top of one another and jumping off the track, getting stuck in a tree. I mean, it's crazy, but it's fun.
And it's just like the real thing, because I watched them this weekend. 3 of them come off a ramp and they all piled into each other, upside down, tore all to pieces, and that's what we're doing.
So come next week, instead of the BSR Hot Rod starting as of next week, it will be Rugrat instead of BSR Hot Rod. So I will adjust those next week.
There you go. Get her on the board. She's in there. She's cutting her teeth right there. That's a great series for her, because let me tell you something. That's that track Saturday night was no joke. If you could drive that track, and she was doing a good job. I'll be honest with you, I was worried there for a minute. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to catch her.
If she wouldn't have caught that hay bale and rolled back down that hill and got DQ'd, I'm telling you, she was steady, smooth. She just wasn't real fast, but she was steady and smooth, where everybody was real radical and up and down, and yeah.
And I tell you, the way she's earning the drivers' respect out there on the track and everything is just top notch. I mean, she's doing a great job. I'm glad to see her in that series. It's a lot of fun.
She might come in and run a little dirt practice tomorrow in the dirt cars.
Hey, let that girl loose.
Let's go take a look at the bonus points and see who got all the great points from Texas Motor Speedway this week. In the Truck Series, it was BSR Wings that took the victory, got the 3 bonus points. BSR RJ Rusty, second place, got the 2 bonus points. And you got Monty Keller, Nelly, and BSR Mayhem also all getting in there with a point. And Wings was added over to the winner race box, joined the Victory Lane Club. He's got the big 0 goose egg by his name in that box because his 3 bonus points coming from the Spring Texas box over there. And if you look over to the right, Wings has moved up with those 3 bonus points to tie several other drivers for the lead in this series so far. Quack, Wings, and Pockets all sitting there with 3 bonus points in the Truck Series right now, heading into their chase. Several other drivers in there with 2, and quite a few in there with 1. So far, I think this Truck Series is showing the most drivers in this total bonus points. Just this short bit into the season that we are.
And that escalated quickly, didn't it? 1 win, bam, 3 bonus points. There you go. And we got a couple of more of those events coming up in the season here too. So it's going to be exciting to watch right there, because that's what you like to see. That guy step off in there, hadn't won a race in this series. First one he wins, 3 chase bonus points. That's a big deal, man. That's a great win.
Absolutely, and as you see over there in the winner race, no repeat winners yet in this series. We've had a different winner at every race in the Truck Series so far. So, it's been a great season and a lot of great racing out there so far. So let's check out the Xfinity Series. The Xfinity Series, it was SS Joba bringing home the 3 bonus points in the top spot, and Pockets with 2 for that second place finish. Then you got Barry, Brain Fade, and Steve Looney all bringing home 1 victory. And again, SS also added to the winner race box over here on the left with the big goose egg, because his bonus points are coming from that Spring Texas box. But Pockets, the big winner over there in the totals box. Pockets already was leading this with 4 bonus points before this race, and gathered another 2 from that second place. So Pockets up there with 6 bonus points in the Xfinity Series heading into his chase. And the next closest driver to him is currently SS with 4 bonus points. So Pockets got a 2 bonus point lead so far in this Xfinity Series. It looks like Steve Looney, only driver in there with 3 bonus points, several other with 2. Quite a few names, though, already in that list there in this Xfinity Series as well. And we have had a repeat winner, Mayhem, with a couple of wins in this Xfinity Series. And then you've got Pockets, Looney, and SS all sitting in there in the Victory Lane Club as well.
And 6 points. That's well, I have been fortunate, have I? You know, I actually kept forgetting about the bonus points during the race because I'm just all hyped up about Texas. And I'll tell you, the most anybody's ever carried into a season, bonus point wise, over the rest of the field was 7. I'm almost positive on that. So these bonus points, man, that just makes it exciting because you're looking at the schedule and the standings as we go along. But this is for the last 10 races, and these are the points that you want, as many of these as you can accumulate. Now, look, 3 points, 4 points going into the last 10 races of the chase. But it's better than being 6 points behind. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's right. It comes down to it comes down to Homestead most of the time. It comes down to that last race, to see who's going to be the champion. And every point you can take into that chase with you is a plus. I mean, you want to have the best start that you can possibly have. It allows you to have a few finishes outside the top 5, outside the top 10, and still be in contention for the championship.
Well, and I tell you this, we talk many times about chase or chasee. When you're racing that scoreboard, instead of racing the racers on the track and racing the event, when you're racing that scoreboard for the overall crescendo of what you're trying to do here, that's when I promise you, being 3 or 4 points ahead, you're going to look at that differently, those last 10 races, than you would if you were 10 points behind. I mean, now you're looking at, let me tell you something, that second place, one less bonus point than first. You think I'm not happy with the second place finish at Texas on Friday night? Absolutely. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I fell ass backwards into that just because I never give up. I kept fighting. Things happened, failed just right. Next week, that could all turn around and smash me right in the face. And we might be talking a whole different story next week after Bristol. So that's the beauty of this thing. And like we said, we're still enjoying the dinner salad, but we're here for the whole meal. So we'll see what happens. And one thing's for sure, we'll keep you up to date right here on the Spotter Stand every Tuesday night.
I got a quick question for Larry before we move on and look at the Cup. And have I missed a race or something? I thought you were saying we were halfway through, but I've only got a total of 5 winners here. Are we 5 races in to this Xfinity Series? Is that right?
No, it should be 6. You're missing somebody apparently. Hang on.
Who?
I'm going to double check here.
I eat a Cheeto.
Yes, was race 6 of 11. Joba, Terry Scott won too. But which wasn't Terry Scott. Here's your winners. It was Pockets, Steve Looney.
So yeah, I've got Terry Scott.
Mayhem, and then Mayhem won the following week, which was supposed to be Terry Scott, but wasn't Terry Scott. It was Mayhem again.
You're not going to have.
That's right.
Winners.
That's right, because one of them
Yes.
was, yeah, that's right.
Yes. There was a post-race penalty.
That's why we only have 5.
That's why you have 5 winners instead of 6.
One of Terry Scott's wasn't Terry Scott. But Mayhem has 2, not Terry Scott. Terry Scott hasn't won a race.
Yeah, so I see Terry Scott's not over there on the left, and I'm looking for his name in these other boxes. It looks like I need to update that over there in that totals box.
Mayhem has 2 wins.
Yeah, Mayhem does have 2 up there.
Yes, that'd be right.
Can I change my driver to Terry Scott since you just told me he hadn't won a race yet? and it'll be Terry Scott ever race from. But he did win a race, but he didn't win a race. So
That's right.
I think I added him. You can see his name is over there in the totals. He with 1 bonus point, but I don't see him in the AK top 5, Daytona top 5, or the Spring Texas top 5. So, I when I added him over there, I took it off the winner race box, but I did not take it off of that total. So, Terry Scott gonna have to get adjusted there out of that totals bonus point box until he does win something.
adjust away. That's the way the cookie has crumbled on that deal. But I'm gonna tell you right now that Terry Scott, he's past champion here. Texan, look. I mean, would you say you're going through a little rough patch right here?
Actually, knowing Terry Scott, I'm telling you, I wouldn't edit that box to the end of Martinsville because he's just liable to win Bristol. He's just liable to win Bristol.
Well, if I don't edit it while I'm thinking about it, then I will, he'll win a race
win a
and I'll
race,
just
yeah,
give him 2 over there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Now,
but
in the
that's
trucks,
what
how
I-
many
I would
races
agree.
in? I'm going to go back here and look at the trucks one more time before we go into cups. How many races in are we in the trucks? How many winners should I have?
There it has been 6 races, only 5 winners because we had a deducted winner after post-race inspection. So there's only 5 winners in your box. Mayhem won 2, so you actually would only have 4 winners in your box.
Race officials doing their job, aren't they?
Now, Mayhem won 2 in the Xfinity series, but in the truck series, there are 5. So there have been 5 races. I've got 5 winners in there, so I believe I'm good to go there.
Yes, I was re-looking at the Xfinity. You're correct. Yeah, 5 races and 5 winners. Quack, me, Pockets, you, and Wings was the most recent winner of the truck series.
The great thing about the spotter stand is we would probably be having this same conversation just in here talking about ourselves. We can just bring everybody along with us. And you know what my favorite line through the week is, don't you, Texan?
What's that?
When somebody says, "Well, who's got the most bonus points?" I say, "You can find out every Tuesday night on the spotter
That's
stand."
right.
Because we go over everything, so you don't have to. We just spoon feed you all of this stuff. The only button you got to click on is the live YouTube button, and you're in business because we take care of you here.
Well, I don't think I've ever had more trouble than I have had this week. If you guys can see, all this stuff keeps switching around on me. I was trying to get up the cup points, but every time I hover over one, it just moves it up or down, and I'm not even clicking on it. So that's why all the switching back and forth. But finally, I've got the cup bonus points up here, and you can see poor boy taking the top spot at Texas. Brings home the 3 bonus points. Nelly finished in second, brought home 2. Steve Looney, Monty Keller, and Terry Scott all bringing home 1 bonus point at Texas Motor Speedway. And over there in the totals bonus point, currently Momo still holding the top spot with 4. But poor boy with that victory at Texas, moving up to 3 bonus points, tied with several other drivers in there with 3. Momo's been holding on to that top spot with 4, I think, ever since Daytona. He won the shootout that got him 2 bonus points. He won, didn't win, but got a bonus point out of Daytona, and he got a bonus point out of the AK Daytona race as well. So ever since the very first week in the Cup Series, Momo has been holding on to that top spot in the bonus points with 4. Several other drivers right there behind him, nipping at his heels, trying to catch him, but nobody able to do it so far. And this series, we've also had just 1 repeat winner, Rick Craddock, up there with 2 victories. and everybody else, every other race has been a different victor. Poor Boy's in there, Barry, Pockets, Brain Fade, and Nelly, all also bringing home victories in the Cup Series so far. So, like we said earlier, there haven't been that many repeats. Mayhem has repeated in the Xfinity Series with 2 wins. Rick Craddock has repeated in this Cup Series with 2 wins. And every other race has been a different winner. So, competition is up this season. A lot of
Well, look at
winners, a lot of people in the
yeah.
Victory Lane Club.
Look at Roger Bevan stepping off in the Victor Lane Cub, swinging around his 3 bonus points. How about that? He steps off in there and says, "What's up? What's up? I got me 3 bonus points." And correct me if I'm wrong, Larry, there's 2 more of these before we get to the last 10 races. Is that correct?
We have one coming up in
There's one. Is it Daytona? I know.
There's 2. There's also the All-Star race.
There you go. That's
All-Star
it.
race is coming up in a couple weeks. I was going to schedule to see how many weeks it was.
Yeah, in the Truck Series,
I know how many it is. It's 6.
the second
We have 6 races to the end of the calendar. That is where the bonus point is. That is at Charlotte. And then we go to Daytona. But I don't think was Daytona the second Daytona race a points race.
Yes, it is, because of it was going to be Texas, but in the Cup Series and the
It's in the
Xfinity
chase.
Series, Texas is part of the chase. So we had to substitute the Fall Texas race with the second Daytona race for those 2 series. So in the Truck Series, the Fall Texas race is still a bonus point race, but in the Cup and the Xfinity, that Texas race is substituted with Daytona. So the second Daytona and the All-Star race, we've still got these 3, 2, 1, 1, 1 bonus points coming up.
And that right there is why this week Texan was asked to join the administration of this league, and we welcome him and thank him for stepping up to do his part and provide this league with the service and the things that it needs, because he ain't missing that. He didn't miss any of that. He caught all of that. So that's the kind of guy that you want that's involved. He's doing this work on the spotter stand like Larry, and that's what you want. So welcome aboard, Texan. We know you've been around a long time. You're a great racer. You're a past champion here, and that's what you want right there. This guy's involved in it. He's going to take care of it. He's going to make sure that, hey, wait a minute. What about this point here? Everybody going to get everything that's coming to them. We got checks and balances here, and everybody takes care of everybody else. So that's a great job, Texan, and that's a good point. This is that Texas race is a standalone event in the real world with the Indy cars, and we had to do a little. Larry had to do a little inventive practice with scheduling there, and we've got it all lined out. So we'll keep you up to track on this as these events come forward. We'll be posting out stuff to let people know that they're special events, and special events mean prizes and drunken cow jerky and WLS graphics and the medicine chest and real tech. Everybody's on board. So we got a lot of stuff coming up still, but we're headed to Bristol, baby.
Yes, Bristol next week in the Cup and the Xfinity Series. We're going to be doing a little dirt racing tomorrow night at the Devil's Bowl. So all you guys come out and join us tomorrow for a little racing in the dirt at the Devil's Bowl. We've all done that. We ran a full 10 race series at the Devil's Bowl. And that's one track that we're all used to racing at. So it ought to be a lot of fun tomorrow night in the dirt. And hopefully we'll see quite a few guys show up for that one.
Yeah, and for any of you guys out there, you BSR guys out there who haven't had the privilege of having your ass whipped by the foot doctor, steaming mad at dirt, I encourage you to come in and take one for the team, because we'll be lined up there at Mesquite tomorrow night, and you can watch Larry show out.
I don't know. The competition's gotten really, really good at the Devil's Bowl.
Yeah, Eli is going to be in there. Eli, great dirt racer, and Brain Fade, Nelly. They're going to be right there doing all they can to keep the foot doctor down.
Knowing that the foot doctor won the last dirt race we had means I've got to start at the rear of the field, which means I'm going to have my work cut the hell out for me tomorrow night.
Pump him up, Killer. We got to get that overconfidence. So they.
Yeah, you can still win one of those heat races. Or if we only have one heat race and you at first or second place, so you can still get some bonus points out of that. And you know how the Devil's Bowl is. We all know how that dirt racing is. You end up front to the back to the front to the back between all of the incidents that end up happening. So it all comes down to where are you going to be at the last few laps.
That's why. Let me tell you something. If they have to cut any more of the driver's side window out of that dirt car that the foot doctor drives, so that his big ass head will fit inside of it, they might as well take the whole damn door off. I love Larry because he gets so animated during the asphalt races and everything like that. He's not even thinking about dirt, and I'm thinking to myself, I ain't listening to you. I'm fixing to have to go Wednesday night and let you just whip me like a dog at the dirt. But I tell you what, he gives you a goal to shoot for, and those other guys, I mean, that you mentioned, Eli and Ellie and Brain and Monty Keller, Steve Looney, all them fast guys will be there, so it'll be a hell of a race. It always is in the dirt. We love the dirt, and we're still doing it and supporting it, and we're gonna get down to business.
I'm telling you, tomorrow night's not going to be a cakewalk. I guarantee you that. My goal tomorrow night's just get in top 5 and maintain points. That's basically my goal.
Yeah, I just hope I get out of there without getting cake all over my face.
That ain't going to happen.
You're right about that.
Well, speaking of the dirt, we're gonna sail out of here with a little dirt video like we do every week. So give you guys a taste of what it's going to be like tomorrow night. I believe this video was made from the Devil's Bowl. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, watching with us live tonight. Sorry for all the technical difficulties. And thanks again to Pockets and Hot Rod and Trisha for helping out this week. And we will see you guys in the dirt tomorrow night.
Holla.
See ya.